fundamental belief system. Create an economic bloc for Africa. That is how Africa can develop and change the course of the nightmare that they believe. People are traveling to go to Europe. They are dying in Mediterranean. Traveling to Europe for the same economic opportunity that should have implemented in Africa and prevent those souls being died in Mediterranean. What is actually wrong with these leaders to look upon and say, no, let's take, for example, Ghana. Ghana can choose to develop road network. Let's look here in the United States. Road construction. There are specific citizens that are specialized in this construction, which I don't want to start naming it here. You know, those will provide economic opportunity for the citizens, and that will prevent them from migrating, net migrations, if we doing the right thing. It requires courageous, it requires leadership to get rid of this. IMF is a fraudulent created intentionally, deliberately to glue onto Africa, never to have any oxygen to breathe. Let's look at, you all know for Southern Cameroon, Southern Cameroon as they claim. Let's look at the Southern Cameroon more specifically. Southern Cameroon has, in the 60s, has three arms of government. You have the Prime Minister. In the 50s, you have the Prime Minister. You have the Southern Cameroon House of Assembly. Any decisions that are made are being promulgated to those areas. That is why when we joined this terrorist La Republique, Southern Cameroon has sufficient liquidity capital. Southern Cameroon has sufficient liquidity capital. La Republique did not get enough liquidity capital when the Southern Cameroon, when they came together. And that is why La Republique manipulated with France, because they saw the ingenuity, the quality, the economic potential of Southern Cameroon. Because one, you have the Southern Cameroon Bank. The Southern Cameroon Bank has high liquidity ratio because of its economic potential. That is why France knew that La Republique was just a wasteland. And the Southern Cameroon, La Republique without Southern Cameroon, it was just a wasteland. And so France took an opportunity to glue onto Southern Cameroon for its exploitation. Let's look at the Sonara. The Sonara, all the directors of Sonara, all the directors are francophones, all. They are francophones. The director of Sonara, they are all francophones. Even the housekeeping, someone sweeping the Sonara is from Douala, are being transported to Douala. Whereas those in Victoria are not even made to stand. The security are all from Douala, the neighboring country, La Republique. They are the one gluing. House cleaner. The house cleaner are people from Douala, the neighboring country, and the one does house cleaning in Sonara, which is a territory in Southern Cameroon territory. The director, the 4 regional directors are all La Republique. They're all La Republique. And the few Southern Cameroon working in Sonara are paid less than those of the French citizens of La Republique. Why do they think we cannot manage ourselves? Why do the world think they have to, La Republique has to manage us? And that is why when I see the analysis presented by the former, the US Undersecretary, Thibault Nagy, he was claiming, you saw him, he was all over the media, speaking how he wants to go and see Biya. But after seeing Biya, he is silent. Because you all know Africa, the smartest person is Paul Biya, because he knows he's sure to dispute every check that he has. He is sure to dispute every check, and that is why he survived in this nature. Paul Biya is very smart. He's very smart in the sense that he knows how to distribute check. There is someone specialized in his presidency. As soon as they hear those voices that speak about La Republique against in the general public, they are waiting for you as soon as they arrive in La Republique capital. As soon as they leave La Republique capital, they change their voice like the angels change their voice. They're no longer speaking. They're no longer speaking. Could you believe that Tibu Nagy will not even cough open his mouth? Tibu Nagy, that's the person, he was all over France 24, speaking over here in the United States. Since he came back from La Republique, he has never opened his voice. Tibu Nagy has never opened his voice. He is totally incoherent. It seems like he is not even aware of reality. That is how Biya is very smart in dealing with these foreign dignitaries. And that is why I am bringing this idea so that they are going to hear this message and ask Tibu Nagy, why is he so silent about it? Now he says, oh, I don't want to see a breakaway nations. Because he has got his retirement that was already deposited. If that is true, let him dispute it. Tibu Nagy has already got his retirement that's already deposited by Paul Biya. And I can imagine the United States, the nation that I trust. I believe in the United States. But the leaders, Tibu Nagy, that the United States philosophy, the United States government. No, United States government is authentic. Tibu Nagy says, according to the United States government, they do not want to see another nation. That is not true. The United States government is an open society. United States government is not a corrupt system. United States is an open entity. But it's the belief system, opinion of Tibu Nagy that he believes that he ought to know what it is. He is giving his opinion rather than the policy of the United States. The people of Southern Cameroon are not an isolated case. If you want to solve a problem, you got to look at the remote cause of the problem. Because once you can identify the remote cause of the problem, then you can solve the problem. Because if you tend to look at the problem as an isolated event, then you cannot solve the problem. And that is why La Republique having difficulty. La Republique having difficulty to solve the problem because they tend to look at it as an isolated event. They tend to look at it as an isolated event. Southern Cameroon is not an isolated event. Southern Cameroon is not. They tend to make Southern Cameroon to look like it's a matter of intertribal case. You see, La Republique were trying to make us to look like it was intertribal case that we are fighting. We are not intertribal case. We are not intervillage case. We are not any of those above. We came to the table as equal entity like La Republique du Cameroun. We have the same organigram like La Republique. So La Republique did not. So, because they have the military, because they have the military. Because they have the military, so they can use their military to intimidate the people of Southern Cameroon, so that they make the world to understand that that is the fundamental principle. No. And that is why funding for Southern Cameroon defense system is a prerequisite to freedom. A funding to the Southern Cameroon independence is a prerequisite to freedom. The world doesn't want to acknowledge facts, and they don't want to persuade facts. So, but we have to expose the fact. We have to expose the fact. Let them understand the fundamental fact and let them deal with the fact. You cannot solve the problem when you can identify the problems. If you identify the problem, then you can find a solution to the problems. La Republique had their independence in 1960. Southern Cameroon has the independence in 1961. Those are two separate nations. They live together. But La Republique want to make the world to understand that Southern Cameroon is an isolated case, a nation under La Republique, and that they can manipulate and declare and and kill our citizens and indiscriminately. But I am bringing this attention to the world that we can no longer succumb to this, and that we have to finance the war in Southern Cameroon. We have the prerogative to finance this war. We have to finance it. It is essential. I want to bring this attention to the United States to understand that let the United States stand for the justice. United States has the privilege to change the course of this war. United States know that they voted. United States is not an isolated incident. United States voted in 1960. United States have a ticket. They voted in 1961 to recognize the people of Southern Cameroon. It's not an isolated incident. So I urge the United States to stand for equality. Let the United States speak up. Let the United States, you as ambassador in the neighboring country La Republique du Cameroon, this is not an isolated case. This is not, let's not put it as an isolated incident. The people have the right and privilege to decide what they want. They don't have to be imposed upon them by any neighboring country La Republique du Cameroon. So, if you haven't been funding, I urge you to fund. If you haven't been funding, then I urge you, or you can choose to remain in the United States. But remember that each time you travel to Southern Cameroon, all the areas that have been owed to the funding of Southern Cameroon will accumulate with interest. Yes, it will accumulate with interest. So, how many millions of us outside? How many millions of us are living outside? We are capable to fund this process. Let's make the world understand why we are speaking. We are speaking because there is a fundamental wrong with this international community. And that is why we have to fund the war in Southern Cameroon. If people in ground zero has chosen to sacrifice their life, then for us living outside, we have to take this by the bull and arrow and face the reality. We have to fund this war. We have to. Remember, United States did not emerge. United States fought against Britain. 200 years ago, the United States asked the British government, no taxation without a representation. That was the philosophy of this great nation.